Hey, my name's Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. Have you ever had an imaginary friend?
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
So I contemplate sometimes if I'm a good friend to my imaginary friend. Every month I tell this friend, we'll go do this and we won't go past this limit. And every month it happens again. So my imaginary friend is my bourbon budget. Every month I say, hey, this is where your stopping point is. If we get to here and we don't go over this, we're good. Sometimes I blur the line a little bit more, and my friend kind of looks at me, my bourbon budget looks at me and goes, hey man, you're getting past that line. And then there's some months that I just go way over the line and I go, what in the world have I done? But I do this for scientific purposes only. So coffee this morning. It's because yesterday I did if you didn't see that video, I had 4 blinds. It's a member of the channel, that Muffin Man, awesome dude. He always finds amazing bottles for me. We'll talk through things and stuff, and I've got him some things in the past, but definitely he gets me a lot better stuff than I've ever got him. But I make sure I get him some samples from time to time. But he had a 4-pack blind. Had an amazing time with that yesterday. One thing I will say, in the future, if I'm gonna do a blind, 2 things. Number one, don't work out in the yard all day and possibly be dehydrated. And number 2, have eaten something during that day before you start said blind. So it was a fun day yesterday, but I felt it yesterday too. Good time though. Absolutely great blinds. Um, 3 of the 4 I would pick up in a heartbeat. Had a great time with it. So thank you very much for that, Muffin Man, on that. So today I'm going to go over the things that I picked up in July. And when I do these things, it's not like I want to say, hey, haha, look what that's not the intent. The intent is showing what's available in my area, showing what's available when you have awesome people in the bourbon community. Once you develop those relationships, can help you with. One of them I picked up a bunch of bottles on, was with a member of the channel, Terence, and we went on a bourbon hunt, and he took me to some of his spots. And I mean, it was the first week of July, and I'm blowing my budget in the first week, but had an amazing, amazing time. So it's one of those things that it just shows that if you know how to look and where to look, and you built those relationships, these are some of the things that are potentially available. I know they're not available to everybody, but I also look for things that may be just a little bit off kilter. And I know that there's some desolate areas out there. I talked with Brian from Guitars, Whiskey, and Golf. He's out in the Denver area. He can't find a lot of stuff, and they really jack up the prices. But I'm very fortunate living in this area where I kind of get the best of both worlds. I can kind of tour back into Alabama for the drop days. I can go ahead and spend my time in Georgia where there's not an allocated, and hunt things, and there's points, and there's loyalty systems, and there's great people in the community that help me out with some of this. So one thing I started deciding to do too is, if somebody's, if I've made trades or somebody's gifted me something, that I want to showcase that as well too, because that's part of the things that were collected in July. So all that long-windedness being said, let me go ahead and start on this so I can hopefully clear some of this off a little bit. But wow, July was an amazing month. So let's get into it. So I'll go into this first one down here because it would be everyone easy to figure this out. This is a E.H. Taylor. This is a small batch. Absolutely love this. There's a lot of different things you could do with this. Number one is drink it. Number 2 is it's great trade value stuff. If there's something you're really looking for, if you get this at the MSRP or close to it, it has amazing trade value if you're trying to trade for some other things. This was part of the hunt that I did with Terence. Absolutely had a great time with that. Uh, so this was one of the pickups on that hunt. There'll be some more on there. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to start on some of the left-hand side stuff over here and go through it. Another pickup. This is a barrel rye. This is a bottle shop, and those that may or may not know, the bottle shop is the shop I call my mistress. So at the mistress, I was able to pick this one up. It's a 14-year Canadian rye. It comes in at 135 proof, and if you can't tell, really like it. Really, really like it. I brought this to a bottle share along with some other things. Also let Matt and Brandon from Whiskey Wisdom try this. Brandon was a big fan of this. I think Matt enjoyed this as well too. Had a great time with it. Still enjoying this bottle. Been giving some samples out on this too because I love to give out samples. Let's get into this first bag over here. Oh, what do we got here? Jack Daniel's 12. So my brother-in-law Dwayne, he awesome dude, awesome dude. He actually got placed in the lottery and was able to pick these up in the June lottery. Now it's in July because I didn't get this until July, but he actually picked this up in the June lottery along with another bottle that'll be coming out here soon. And you know, he's just so kind. He got them for me. I got them basically back from him at cost. You know, he won a great spot in the lottery and picked up two fantastic bottles for me. This Jack Daniel's 12 being one of them. So very grateful for you, Dwayne, on that. Thank you so much. This is just kicking off the month, and we're starting this off. Next bottle in here. What do we got? Oh. So this is the Founders 11, Chattanooga Whiskey Founders 11. We'll be doing an upcoming video on this week where I'm going to review this and then in the same video compare it versus the Founders 10 to see which one I like better. I am a big fan of Chattanooga whiskey. I think they do a very good job. I think that they're, for someone that doesn't maybe have a huge budget to spend, some of their stuff like their 111 cask, that is one of my favorites. You know, it's a good, very, very good pour, and you're not destroying yourself when you buy it. But Founders 11, found this over at Maple Party Shop, aka The Affair. Matt and his team over there do an amazing job. They very good on their pricing, so they keep things reasonable. Definitely enjoying that. And as you can tell, I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts today to help keep me happy and comfortable. This has Nugget, my cat, on it. Because as I look through this, I'm like, man, I'm not been a good friend to my bourbon budget. But Founders 11, looking forward to doing a video on this week. Jack Daniel's 10. This was the second bottle that Dwayne got for me. So not only did he get me the 12, he got me the 10 in the same shot in the Alabama lottery. I mean, I don't know, you know, how many people would just go out and say, hey, I got a lottery pick and I'm going to do this for you. But Dwayne, thank you so much. You absolutely killed it for me. Enjoy both of these bottles. Like 12 much better, as you could probably tell. I like the 12 a lot, but both very, very good bottles. Jack Daniel's, pound for pound right now, or ounce for ounce, as we should probably put it, has been outstanding. And if you've been sleeping on Jack, you need to check it out. This isn't just the old number 7 you grew up with, you know, in high school as you're drinking underage, which please do not drink underage, or in college, and you probably had some massive hangovers with. These are much better, great sippers. Definitely enjoy them. Last bottle in this bag. Oh my goodness. Let me clean this up a little bit. So we'll put you over here. Start cleaning this up because this is probably looking pretty bad over here. There we go. We'll get your Founders over here. Blue Note. So this was the first store that Terence and I went to go hunt at. This is Super Jasper package in the Conyers area. And, you know, some people may have heard of like an orphan barrel or things like that. This is what they call a survivor barrel. There's actually a neat story behind it about these barrels that got left outside. and they forgot about them, and then they come back, and this store was able to get their own store pick of one of these Survivor barrels. I haven't cracked this one yet, as you can see, and you'll tell through some of these. I've cracked a lot of these this month, but have not had the opportunity to crack this yet. But I love what they did with the story on this. I think it's going to be very good. And Terence is the one that suggested this, and anything he has put me on has been phenomenal. So looking forward to trying this and cracking this one open. This is going to be a long one. Sorry about that. But one of the bottles that I also got this month, some people maybe weren't a big fan of it, but I am always been an Elijah Craig fan. This is their B523. This one gets a little bit of hate, and this one was under the 12-year age statement. I want to say it's like 11 years, 7 months. 124 proof, I believe, on this. I enjoy it. I mean, is it as good as some other batches? No, but that's why they're batches. They're not going to taste the exact same. Is it good? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Yes. Is my palate maybe different than some others? Absolutely. But I am a big Elijah Craig fan, and I don't care what they're going to put out there, because over time they've shown it's going to be a consistent, good product. Unless they start getting something that's just horrible, I'm going to keep going back to the well on that one. Definitely enjoyed this one. Was able to get this one over at, where did I get this one at? Wild Bill's over in Columbus, Georgia. If you guys haven't seen Phil and Company out there, they do a great job. They always seem to have Buffalo Trace, Weller, Green Label Special Reserve, Eagle Rare, Sazerac. They'll have a lot of the Elijah Craig stuff out there, Toasted Barrel, and this, and all at very reasonable prices. So very nice to get it up there. See where we want to go next, man. Another one from Wild Bill's over here. This is the Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Single Barrel Rye. Jack, like I said, I can't talk enough. As you see now, I think I've got, 3 products out here that are Jack Daniel's. I am very impressed with what they've done this year. Their ryes are phenomenal. Anything that they've done so far this year that they've put that's got an older age statement to it, or it's a barrel proof single barrel, with the exception of the twice barreled for me. But when I went back and tried it again recently, I liked it more. I think it just had to open up some. So I may do a re-review on that just to see if I really kind of like it now. I wasn't very happy with it up front, but let's see if it's opened up and gone better. But these are going to start getting released nationally. I got this one at Wild Bill's as well. They still got some on the shelf, so check them out. Very good pour. Absolutely love these pours. New one for me. Haven't done the review on this yet, but I've already sampled it out to a couple of people. This is Koval. This is basically a grain to bottle out of Chicago area. So very cool there. It's a rye that's done in an Amburana cask, 100 proofer. I generally like things a little bit higher on the proof spectrum, but if you've got a rye and it's done in an Amburana cask, it's something that really called to me and got my attention. So I'll be doing a review on this shortly. I haven't really sat, and as you see, there's some gone on this. I've actually sampled this out and not had it myself yet. So looking forward to trying this out, and then also looking forward to getting it to some other people on this as well. Man, so many good bottles. Doc Swenson's. This is the Bossa Nova, another Amburana cask. I found I really like the Amburana stuff, and it may not be for everybody, but I really like it, and it fits in my flavor profile. You get that cinnamon that kind of just washes and flows with it on top of some other things. So got this one, and then I've got a ASW in the back here, their Amburana cask, which is outstanding as well. So Amburana is kind of something that if I'm going to have a finished whiskey or bourbon or even a rye now, I like the different notes that it adds to that. So big fan of the Amburana cask stuff. People may laugh at this one. Dickel 15 year. So hunting with Terence this past month. Last store we're going to, I already burned through my bourbon budget, and my imaginary friend is pissed at me, but we say, hey, let's go to one more store. So we go there. Actually, Terence is like, I've never been here. It could be some hidden gems. We go through, we see some things, but nothing that really just stands out. But behind the counter, Terence says, hey, let me see that Dickel over there at 15 year. Because he had talked it up some when we were riding around. He says, if you get a 15 year and it's past that 100 proof point, he says, they're very good. They're pretty special. And I'm like, okay, I'll trust you on this. But his eagle eye, he caught it. It was like, man, right on it. And so we look back there, and there's one, they pull up the one bottle, and I'm like, Terrence, you want to get it? Because he's the one that saw it. He's like, no, go ahead and get it. I said, okay. But then eagle eye again catches a second bottle back there. So this Dickel 15 year at 100 proof, it's changed the way, I like older stuff. I like some of the oaks and things that come with it. Everyone always talks about Dickel as kind of having that Flintstones vitamin minerally type of thing. And maybe I like that, but I didn't get a lot of that in this. And so I really, really enjoyed it. If you haven't had an opportunity to try some of the 15 year, look for something that's over 100 proof. I think it'll be worth your while to check it out. Gosh, I can't believe I still got bottles to talk about. All right. Part of the adventure with Terence again is, people may laugh, it's a Buffalo Trace, but it's a Sigmunds store pick Buffalo Trace. I did a video earlier this month about 90 proof Buffalo Trace, products or mash bills. I had I had the Benchmark small batch in there. I had a Bowman Brothers in there. I had a regular Buffalo Trace, and then I had this store pick Buffalo Trace. This store pick Buffalo Trace was so much better than the rest. They did a really good job on this, and I'm not a light proof person, but at 90 proof, it had exceptional flavors, exceptional quality. And it was just, I always like picking up the store picks of Buffalo Trace because I like to see the differences between them. It's a good product. So that was a neat one too to pick up this month. I'm telling you, this video ought to be sponsored by Terence. This was something where we hit at Sigmunds. And I'm telling you now, when I was with Terence, I spent a lot of my budget then and there. We went to Sigmunds. Part of some of the things that they had going on is they were offering, some other, Buffalo Trace products if you bought some of their store picks. Now, this was not included in it. Dang it, that reminds me, I had another bottle I don't have out here. But don't worry, it'll be okay. Woodford Double Oaked. This is a store pick from Sigmunds. And I was able to get this bottle at MSRP and another bottle a little bit slightly over MSRP, which will be coming up later in this video, because I picked up a couple of their store picks. I also picked up a Maker's Mark red candied apple one that they had there, which enabled me to buy a second bottle. So it was a neat package deal type of thing. I think this one was fairly inexpensive. It was right at MSRP. Picked this up. Had someone, Matt from Whiskey Wisdom, this is kind of like his daily drinker type of thing. He didn't want to try this because he thought it might ruin it for him, and he tried it and he says, damn it, this is better. And so the store pick was better. It was sweeter, had a sweeter profile to it. So that was really neat to pick up. I've seen actually one more since then, Woodford Double Oaked store pick, but the owner of the store was so proud of it, I didn't think that I could convince my imaginary friend, the bourbon budget, to try it again. So I passed on that one. And I don't pass on a whole lot. So, and we're getting down to some interesting ones here. So Alabama Bourbon Drop. This month's Alabama Bourbon Drop, I think I was in like 7th or 8th place. They had some very good bottles there. Bottles that I really, really looked forward to it, and I was excited about. This was the day that I had the Alabama Bourbon Drop. I had a bourbon tasting with some awesome people up in Douglasville, Georgia. Shout out to Bourbon Baroness up there. And then went after that, went and talked with Matt and Brandon at Whiskey Wisdom for a little bit. But first bottle I got out of well, there's two bottles. This isn't the first, but you're able to get one bottle from each table, two bottles total. So I got this Russell's Reserve Private Select, which I think they do an amazing job on. I was very excited to get this bottle. At MSRP, which is nice. They're hard to find. It enabled me to gift an unopened bottle to somebody that I can't wait to hear their experience on it. I think it'll be a very, very good time. So always do a good job on those. Very happy to get that in the Alabama Bourbon Drop this month. The second bourbon that I got was this Woodford Reserve, and this is the batch proof at 124.7. Brought this over to the, all these, that I picked up that morning were brought to the bourbon tasting. And so was able to get that there, got a few pours sampled out, did a review on this one already. I like the juice. I don't like the price. Would not buy it again at $150. Absolutely think the juice is good, but it's not $150 juice. But it was much better than the historic barrel entry 90.4. Wouldn't ever buy that again, unless they were giving it away for like 25 or $30, just because I didn't think I got the bang for the buck. And it probably left a bad taste in my mouth, hypothetically and literally. So I wouldn't do that one again. But definitely enjoyed the juice, just didn't enjoy the price on that. But some other people enjoyed it as well. So that's the whole point, Wouldn't pay that money again for it, but other people got to say, yeah, I really like that, and that was good stuff. On the way to meet Terence, that muffin man, I was able to get a great bottle here. This is ASW Resurgence Rye. I am a huge fan of the stuff that we're doing in this area. This ASW Resurgence Rye, finished in port cask. Very, very good pour. I was able to get actually two bottles. This is very, very limited. But was able to get a bottle for myself and then gift the bottle to a friend. And just because I know this person likes ASW, and I thought this is a unique pour. There's not a lot of this. So, the FOMO is out there, the fear of missing out. And I said, I want to get this to someone that's done a lot for this channel and for me. And so I was able to get Terence a bottle for this. And Terence, if you guys don't know Terence, awesome dude. It's someone that as soon as we started hanging out and rolling, it was like we were just old buddies that had been around for a while. And we just talked about everything under the sun. Bourbon, life, things going on. I'm so glad I was able to get him this bottle because he does so much for me in this channel. He's a great member of this channel. And that muffin man, thank you so much for getting this for me. Truly appreciate it. Very, very good pour. I am excited with some of the things that you may have upcoming in the future. I know you don't tell me everything, but I think you and the team that you work with, I think, do an outstanding job. Talk about gifts. Nulu honey cask. So first thing I meet Terence, we're outside the store where we got the Blue Note at, and we're just talking. He says, "Hey, I got something for you." I mean, it's funny, I had picked him up a bottle of this, and he already had a bottle there. It's like we just wanted to see, I got you something cool, and blew me away with this. This is their Nulu honey cask. It's from the House of Bourbon. As you can tell, like it a whole lot. I've given some people some samples on it, and they're all blown away. They're like, man, this is honey up front, honey in the rear. I mean, I think that Brandon is like, man, it's like they left the honey in the barrel and just dumped a little bit of bourbon in there. Very sweet, right in my profile. Absolutely great experimental finish with the honey cask on that. Terence, thank you very, very much for that. Part of an incredible, incredible month. So very, very fortunate on that. I think we're down to 4 bottles now. Thank you for hanging in there this long if you've actually been listening to this diatribe the whole time. Stag 22A. So I'd mentioned at Sigmunds, if you bought some of their other stuff, you were able to get, some of the Buffalo Trace products at a reasonable price. So I picked up 2 store picks there. I picked up a Maker's Mark, and I picked up the Woodford Double Oak store picks. And so I was able to get this, and I was able to get this Stag 22A. Now, was it at MSRP? No. I think it was $129, which I'm willing to invest that into Stag. I'm a big Stag fan. This bottle did not disappoint. It's one of my favorite bottles. I actually did a little video called the Stag Off where I had some different juices. And I think Terence gave me another Stag that's up in here somewhere that he had left over for part of that and some samples. And this one came out on top. It was, a little bit different than some of the other batches. It was had a little more caramel to it, a little more sweet to it. And I think it was an outstanding pour. Definitely like this. And that was part of that hunt at Sigmunds that really, really broke my budget from bourbon this month, even to really get before I got into gear on it. So very interesting. Next 2 bottles, man, let me move these over here for a little bit. I'll just set them over here and then I'll get this off here and clean this up because this got messy fast. Okay. Let's slide these over here. Hopefully we'll keep them in focus over here. Okay. So, 13th Colony cask strength bourbon. So last week? I guess it's got to be last Friday. Not this past Friday, the Friday before. They were having a drop on Seal Box, and they were doing some cask strength bourbon and some cask strength rye. And so they went online, and within 30 seconds, they sold out. Their rye was 141 proof, which was a hazmat, and their bourbon was like 135 proof. Well, the same weekend, they had some of the bourbon dropping in Georgia. Had some great people reach out and tell me, hey, this is coming. Jeremy, you were one of them. Thank you very much for that. Told me where the store, this is the store I was looking at. It was dropping in 2 different areas. This one right here, I got at the Tap House. And so the morning of the bourbon drop, I was able to pick up my stuff there, and I was heading to the bourbon tasting. And the bourbon baroness, Tanya, was like, hey, we didn't get a chance to make it to the Tap House. And I said, well, it's about 20 minutes out of the way, and I have extra time. Do you want me to see if they have some? I'll get you a bottle. And she says, yeah. So I said, okay. So I shot over there and was hoping, number one, they would have some. I had called them earlier. They said, yeah, we still have some. Second part, I was hoping I'd be able to get a bottle for myself. As it worked out, I was able to purchase 2 of the bottles. Definitely like this. As you can tell, that it's already been drank down quite a bit on it as well. Was able to get Tanya her bottle. And I'm a big fan of 13th Colony. So did a review on this. This is right in my wheelhouse. And so this just kept destroying my bourbon budget. So at this point, my bourbon budget has been toasted. I mean, it has gone up in flames. It's waved the white flag. I burned the white flag. And luckily, I had 2 amazing members of the channel still just continue to bring amazing things that I was able to get in July. This right here, 13th Colony cask strength rye. A signed bottle by Graham Arthur, their master distiller. These had gone on sale at the distillery on a specific date that they were having tours. They had released these. People showed up. I missed out on it, and I was just kind of like, and I put in a video, hey, I missed out on it. Sometimes it's just not meant to be. Maybe I'll get an opportunity in the future. Member of this channel, Derek, I was meeting him the following day to get some samples. And so he's part of a blind that we did. It's a 6-pack blind, which will be releasing this upcoming week. And I said, and I was, putting it in there that, hey, missed out on this, but it's okay. But I was meeting up with Derek. We were going to a store that I have a lot of love for, and I'm bringing him a sample pack, and he hands me this. He says, "Man, this is for you." I said, "What do I owe you?" He says, "Man, you don't owe me anything." He said, "I saw where you really wanted it." He said, I want, and I had some of these and wanted to get you a bottle." Those are the kind of things that they just stick in your chest, and they go, "Man, that was just so freaking awesome." You have people that are willing to help grow this channel, and contribute to the channel. And I had no idea that this was coming, and it just, I mean, it blows you away with the awesome people that are there. And I can't tell you thank you enough, Derek. Thank you so much for that. Um, Definitely enjoying this. Truly appreciate it. Heartfelt. Thank you so much. Derek is actually, he actually had the opportunity to select a barrel of Old Soul for the Class 6 in this area now at Fort Moore. It used to be Fort Benning, now Fort Moore. So I cannot wait till that comes in. I cannot wait to hopefully get a bottle of that and try it out. Derek's got a very good palate. I like some of the stuff that he does, and he helps me grow as a person on this channel. So truly appreciate it, Derek. Thank you very much. Last bottle, another gift. Can't thank him enough for it. This Proof and Wood Season 21. This came from Terence. Um, like I said, he does amazing things for me as far as talking to me about some bourbons and things I need to look at in the future. You talk about people that got amazing collections. Terence has an absolutely amazing collection. We'll be talking or something, and he'll be like, "Hey, what about this?" And I'm like, "What the heck is that?" Sometimes I can stump some people, but he has some amazing collections. Him and Dave Vogelsang, I mean, they have like these incredible like bourbon, I don't know what you call them, like Fort Knox. It'd be like Bourbon Knox. They have some amazing bourbons, but he got this for me, and truly, truly awesome. There's like 1,000 bottles of these. He really enjoyed it, and he said, "I'm going to get this for Sean. Thank you so very much. Truly, truly appreciate it." Um, these are the things that just make this channel so much fun, is the camaraderie, the talking about things, the getting stuff out to other people, and then in return receiving some amazing stuff. July was fantastic. I don't know what, I may have 3 bottles for August, and I'll be fine with it, because July was phenomenal. Did not see that this was going to happen this way. Got a lot of great things, and was able to share a lot of pours. I shared a lot of these out because I don't want to just have the experience myself. I want other people to have the experience. And that's the best part about bourbon. It's just talking, enjoying a pour, saying, I like this, or no, I didn't like this, or oh my gosh, where's this been all my life? But you guys have done that. Thank you for everything. I'm going to have to make it up to my imaginary friend somehow, but I don't know if that bridge is literally burned, stomped on, and blown up, but we'll see. But thank you for everything you guys do. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe. I absolutely read every comment. I try to reply to everything on there, because you've taken the time and it's valuable. I want to try to do it. If I ever get to the point where I can't, I will probably be very upset, because I think people's time is valuable. You can't put a price on someone's time that actually watched something or commented on it to help the channel. So all you members out there, thank you very much. Looking to coming on 1,000. It's Sunday, fun day. Y'all have a great day.